Greetings, YouTube. First off, I would like to make a blatant plug for my wife's YouTube channel. She has posted a crafty type crochet video. I will put a link in the down bar. Now, as most people who have any kind of an internet connection are aware, Wikileaks has leaked some 90+ thousand pages of military information to the intertubes. Now, any of the information contained therein that puts the American troops, our allied troops, or our allies within the nation of Afghanistan in danger are things that I do not feel should have been released at this time. I think that the information should eventually have been released, but not during the actual act of firing. Once the military actions had been closed, and a few years down the line, that information could have been safely released, because I think it's very important for us as a nation and as people in the world to know how we conducted the war. I'm not a big believer in state secrets. I understand how they are useful at the time, but they have an expire-by date, folks. You don't get to keep them secret forever. I hate the fact that our government do that. But it appears that some of the information contained in these documents is showing that the military was using these secret and top secret security clearance protocols to hide the fact that the military committed crimes. And all of that information should never have been slapped under any kind of secret protocol. That kind of information should have been open to the public from the second it happened. Now, I am aware that armies break things. It's what they're designed to do. But there's a difference between soldiers and thugs. The difference is that soldiers follow ethical and moral codes, while thugs do not. And those ethical and moral codes say that there are things that soldiers do not do. A soldier is obligated to not follow an immoral order. Now, whether that's on the battlefield or the barracks doesn't matter. If someone in the service is ordered to shoot a civilian, it is their obligation to say no. And if they're in the barracks and they are ordered to remain silent because their unit shot civilians, it is their obligation to say no. Just because you are in a theater of war does not mean you shelve your morality. The ends do not justify the means. Our ideals are important, and we need to live up to those ideals. They aren't just words on a page. You have to carry them in your heart and in your head. They can't ever leave you. I carry my morality with me everywhere I go. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying I follow it every time the way I should. But it's with me. And so far, I have never encountered an issue as serious as the death of innocents in battle, and I pray I never have to. But I would like to think that in the event I did encounter such a monumental moral quandary, that I would make the right decision. And in the event of something like that, the one thing you don't do is slap a secret or top secret qualifier on it and then brush it under the rug so that no one ever knows about it. That isn't how you handle things. So those documents, they should have been released to the world. Those documents should never have been made secret. And the people that made them secret, I want them brought up on charges. Every single officer involved in this, all the way up to the top, whether it was Bush or Obama. If you made the decision to sweep this under the rug, I want you brought up on charges. I want you tried, and if you're found guilty, I want you jailed. We have morals. We have standards, and we need to live up to them. Always. I have infinite amounts of respect for the men and women that serve our nation. But when they break the law, they need to be held to the same kind of accountability that anyone else that breaks the law is. Just because they're in the field of battle doesn't mean they are above the law. Just as is, just because you're wealthy in America doesn't mean you're above the law. Everyone needs to be viewed equally under the law. I know that's a kind of a strange sentiment to have nowadays, maybe even a bit archaic, but what can I say? Maybe I'm an anachronist at heart. So, I'm not happy that Wikileaks has let out information that might put our troops in danger, or our allies in danger, or the people that have supported us in the civilian sector. But I am glad that they have released information that may just find some of the people in our service, and those that command them, have broken the law. Things that never should have been secret. Things that should never ever have been brushed into the darkness. The healthiest thing in the world, folks, is sunlight. And you need to shine it into all the darkest corners so we know what's really going on. Because Americans have ideals. Our troops have morals. And we need to make sure that we always live up to them.